Hello, ChiBizHub family. Thank you for joining us today for this yet again another amazing spotlight for our community. I'm really eager to introduce to you all Miss Ana Valencia, our City Clerk for the City of Chicago. She was sworn in January of 2017 and is the second Latina to serve as the City Clerk of Chicago. Can you believe that? Her office is one of the largest offices in the city, serving 1.2 million Chicagoans and generating more than 130 million annually. As a city clerk, Valencia has focused on making government accessible to all Chicagoans. And under her leadership, the Office of the City Clerk has made it a priority to find new and innovative ways to bring services directly to the residents, increasing civic engagement and collaboration across government in the private and public sectors. She is a millennial leader, uses innovative thinking and her working class roots to guide her office. Prior to becoming the clerk, Ms. Valencia served as the second woman and first Latina, again, many firsts here, really eager to share that with you, to serve as a legislative counsel and government affairs in the city of Chicago for the mayor's office. Valencia has also worked as an Illinois political professional for several elected officials, including U.S. Senator Dick Durbin, and U.S. Senator Gary Peters, and U.S. Congressman Mike Quigley. In 2018, Business Insider named Valencia one of the 8 most influential millennial women in the United States politics. She has also been awarded Negocios Now 40 Under 40 for her work as part of the next generation of Latina leaders. Really eager, again, to have her here. Incredible accolades, background. And once again, just want to thank you for being here, Clerk Valencia. I want to get right down to it for our community, right? To just know a little bit about you. Again, even for me as a Latina myself here in the city of Chicago, working in economic development, business development, civic engagement, kind of working with our community, right? I want to make sure our community here knows a little bit more about you. So please share a little bit more about your background and tell us about your journey on becoming Chicago's city clerk.
Sure. So thank you so much, Jazmin, for spotlighting me this month for Women's History Month. Women and girls and serving young people has been something that is a passion of mine before becoming city clerk. I think it's so important that we lift up each other's stories and build that pipeline of talent, and not being first or seconds, but having people really follow us and women of color follow us in these pathways. So honored to be here again. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I'm happy to share a little kind of about my story so you get a sense of really where I came from and how that really has been my why of public service. So I actually grew up in Southern Illinois, in Granite City, Illinois. And my dad is a union painter. He's got about a year to retirement. And my mom worked in a nonprofit for over 20 years until she actually lost her job. She was only making $25,000 a year and lost her job at the age of 60 due to the Rauner budget crisis when we had the budget crisis here at the state. Never got rehired back, but luckily her and my dad are doing great. But it's really that story rooted in coming from working family, being first in my family to go to college at U of I on scholarship, on financial aid and state grants. That really drives me to serve, because there are families like my parents that I've met along the way in my journey to becoming clerk and as city clerk. Families who just want their children to have opportunity, be able to have an affordable education, retire with dignity, and have access to affordable health care. So that's really been my why. I'm now also a new mom to an 11-month-old little girl. I met my husband here in Chicago 10 years ago, and we, made Chicago our home and had a beautiful little girl who is now very multicultural, Mexican. My husband is Palestinian and Black, and so she's multicultural, and I think really what, that next generation of Americans will look like. And so why I serve continues to be that bridge between community and government, building trust between community and government, making sure that people see leaders that look like them or that have their shared lived experience and understand really what their struggles may be. And so the last 4 years, we've been doing that at the city clerk's office with our fines and fees reform, the City Key program, the Municipal Id Card, which I know we're going to speak a little bit about today, our work on women and girls, and our work on our next gen city council, where we work with young people from different high schools around the city which we'll have our next Gen City Council meeting actually on Tuesday, next Tuesday, where we bring high schools across the city together, and they get to be aldermen for the day. And they get to learn how to craft ordinances and debate back and forth and realize that they are in the seats of power, that they deserve to be in those seats of power, and they deserve to have their voices heard now, not when they turn 18, not when they go to school, but now, and that they really hold that power. So we've been teaching that for about 4 years, running that program.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that part of your story, Clerk Valencia. I mentioned earlier, right? For Latinas like myself too, it is very important to see individuals like you know, that are part of the same, you know, culture, being Mexican in these leadership positions. It's very, very important, you know. And I know the first time I ever kind of realized that was being part of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute and seeing leaders there, just being introduced again to people that look like me. So I hope that this interview here for our ChiBizHub community, I know it's predominantly small business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs, but I want them to see, hey, you know what, right now, especially the city at large, right, is working towards investing specifically in Black and Latinx communities. And so I hope this interview inspires someone like, hey, you know what, like we could do it too, even through these trials and tribulations. So thank you again for that. But on that note, you know, I did mention, right, we have a lot of small business owners that are part of our audience. And I want to make sure, I don't think, you know, everyone knows exactly what the city clerk is. So I want to make sure that, you know, we dive a little bit deeper in what your role is and tell us more about your responsibilities as a clerk for the city of Chicago, and how exactly does your work impact the daily lives of the Chicagoans?
Yes, thank you so much. So we are the link between community and government. We touch over 1.2 million residents a year. We serve a lot of operational role for the city of Chicago. So if you're buying your city sticker for your car, we're that office. We bring in over $130 million of revenue each year to pave our roads. So that goes right back into 4,000 miles of roads that need to be paved for those small businesses. I know that's important to make sure they're in their community, that people have access to their businesses. The other thing we just created was the Municipal ID Card. It's called the City Key. It's the first of its kind that is a government ID, also a library card, a CTA card, a prescription discount card, and a business discount card. We have over 70 small businesses in Chicago, Back of the Yards Coffee, South Shore Brew, and many others that are our partners, and they offer a business discount so that we can highlight them on our social media. So we can highlight them on the great work they're doing and get people to buy local and support our local entrepreneurs and businesses. And then the other thing that we do is we oversee city council. So if you are watching the city council meetings during the monthly meetings, I know they're on Zoom right now, we run those meetings and we archive all the ordinances, and we make sure that there's transparency and openness in government and people can know what is happening, and they should know. You know, our communities need to be empowered with the tools they need to hold their electeds accountable, to understand, you know, the way to get a business permit, the way to get, you know, anything that they need for the restaurants that has to get approved by council. They understand it. They can easily look for it, see where the status of it is at, what's being debated by their city council members. And I think it's important. If you're going to be civically engaged, you have to make sure you have access to be civically engaged.
Thank you, Kirk Valencia. I have to share, I mean, we were just, I think we issued a report earlier today that was sharing, you know, the city of Chicago is leading in consumer spending, but specifically, like, we're supporting our small businesses. And I have to believe that it's through initiatives like the one in your office that gets the community together to ensure, right, we're supporting one another and our small businesses. So that's really, really good. Diving a little bit deeper into these initiatives, you kind of hit on it earlier. We want to learn more about, right, the initiatives that you're currently leading, but specifically, what is the City Key with the city of Chicago?
Yes, so again, the City Key is one of our premier programs that we started about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years now. And it all came from the community. We looked at access, and not everyone had access to a driver's license or state ID. They might not have the documentation or the money to get the state ID or driver's license right away. So returning citizens, undocumented immigrants, young people, seniors, veterans, homeless, domestic violence survivors. A lot of folks may not have that documentation if you were fleeing a dangerous situation and couldn't get your social security card or your birth certificate or things that are needed. So we created this program to really make sure there was access for everyone. Because if you don't have a valid government ID, you can't access city services, you can't get employment or housing, or even get a COVID-19 shot, the vaccination shots. So we really want to make sure that there's access. So we created this card for the community with the community. Everyone had a hand in hand in the policymaking and writing the laws. So we looked at, okay, what documentation needs to be on there? We wanted to make sure it was a free program. So we've been able to give over 50,000 ID cards out with City Keys for free. We mobilely print, so we can go to a community event, we can go to a block party, we can go to a high school, we can go to the library, the park district, wherever, and we can print on site. It takes about 10 minutes. So people walk in, show their documentations, we take their photo, and we print it out. You get to leave with your ID. We also wanted to make sure it was a card that was just not in your wallet. So creating the technology to integrate those services. So now you don't have to have 3 different cards in your wallet. You have your government ID, you have your library card, your CTA card. You can use it at Walgreens, CVS, or local pharmacies for a discount. You can also use it at, like I said, over 70 business partners. So on our website at cityclerk.com, you can check out what the businesses in your community that you may not know about that offer a discount. And so again, the reason we call it a city key, it's about providing access for people. It's about helping, it's free. And we want to make sure that people can get it, and that anyone who wants it in the city will get it because of the perks that it comes with too.
No, this is great. Great. I mean, I need to go get my city key. I know I don't have it yet, so that's
come
amazing.
over and get it.
So with that, I mean, thank you for sharing all the benefits and everything that comes with, enrolling with the City Key program. Can you share with us, since the pandemic first began, have you seen people and businesses still engaging with the City Key initiative? And have you seen any trends?
Yes, actually, we've received even more business partners, and we want to make sure that we are showing up for them. So we've been using our social media to really highlight these businesses, that they're open, that they have delivery or pickup, to really support our local businesses through the pandemic. We also want to link our small businesses with any help from the city government. So we've made sure that our small businesses know what grants are available, whether it's through the city or the state. We really want to make sure that we are being that bridge builder, and that we are driving our City Key participants to their local establishments. We list them in our documents that we give out to people. So that's really been a priority for us, especially during the pandemic, and making sure that they're linked to other grant opportunities that can help them stay afloat during this time.
That's incredible. Thank you. I mean, yeah, you answered that. That's kind of what I wanted to dig deeper into the next question of just kind of understanding, how exactly you've benefited our small businesses, right? So, but I mean, tied to that, if you can share a little bit, how has your office and staff pivoted to serve the small business community in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic? And how can the small business community engage with your office? I know you mentioned social media, but is there anything else that your office has done outside of the resources as well that you've shared to help them during this time?
Yeah, so when the pandemic happened, we had to shelter in place like everyone else. We did close our office for a few months, but then we realized that when we came back in June and July that we had to pivot, that there was still a need and we needed to meet that need. So we actually ended up opening City Key Limited, but we found a way through technology to pivot to remote printing. So using Zoom to allow us to remote print from different locations, print them out safely at City Hall, and then drop them off to a community organization that was helping us with the printing. So that is one thing that we tried to do, is really try to open our doors back up. Something else that we offer for our city stickers is we have a reduced term city sticker. We want people to come in compliance because those $200 city sticker tickets are not good. And we found 2 years ago when we launched the Fines, Fees, and Access Collaborative that people were going into debt. They were going into debt with city sticker ticket debt, and they were not able to get on a payment plan as low as $25. They were asked instead to put half down. I met a CTA bus driver who lived on the west side, who had 5 kids, had $5,000 in city sticker ticket debt, was asked to put half down, $2,500 to start a payment plan, and he just couldn't. So at the time, we suspended his driver's license. He ended up losing his job as CTA bus driver. And that was completely wrong. That's not what government should be doing. We should be removing those barriers. And I know with debt, that may not allow business owners, if they have city debt, to get their permits or to get, the things they need to do. So we really want to make sure that they're not hitting those bumps when they're trying to get grants or permits or anything else they need to open their business or to make sure their business is successful. So what we've done is we created a reduced term city sticker, an affordable option as low as $30. So if times are tough for many people, they can get the $30 city sticker and you pay over the year. If they have a debt, any city debt, you can now get on a payment plan for as low as $25 a month. And there are some payment plans that go to even 60 months. So you can spread it across the time. We stopped suspending driver's license for non-moving violations. So thanks to the state legislature and the governor and Secretary White, we stopped doing that. And so that's another win. And I know all of these things end up helping a lot of our business owners as well, because they don't have to pay the city or owe the city any money. And they have a real way to get out of that debt or come into compliance early, which is really what we want. We also have a no fee veteran city sticker, and we have a senior city sticker that's as low as $31 for 65 and up. And we have a no fee city sticker for people with disabilities. So we are trying to find ways to help a lot of our community residents, especially when we don't always have equitable policies, because we know everyone starts from a different starting line, which isn't fair. And so really, I want to create policies around people and equity that allows those folks to catch up and to meet them where they are.
Well, thank you. That was incredible. I mean, the whole point of ChiBizHub and these interviews is to let our community know of the resources that are out there here for them. And you've showcased exactly that. And especially right now in the pandemic, right? I feel like where a lot of folks have kind of lost faith in our government nationally and just overall. And so to see an office like yours really out there with the community, it's inspirational, really, and motivational.
We want to do more, and I hope we can do more. And I know it's so tough, and these are just little things, but I hope these little things can have a ripple effect to really make an impact for people who are struggling or maybe laying off employees and need to help their employees find assistance. These are the type of things we want to do and will continue to do as long as I'm here.
I appreciate that, City Clerk Valencia. To close us out, I want to make sure that our viewers, our audience, and our ChiBizHub family knows, how can small business owners and Chicagoans get in touch with your office or any of your staff so they can pursue the city key benefits?
Sure. So shycityclerk.com. If you can go to our website, there is information on how you can become a business partner. Email us there, and someone in my office will get in touch with you. Kendra Thomas, our city key director, also is someone that Jazmin can put you in touch with as well. And we can get you signed up for a business partner in a few days. And that way we can highlight you on our social media. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. As things open up and we are all vaccinated, we hope that we can stop by your establishment or maybe even do a city key print and bring some foot traffic to you and your business. So please just reach out to us. We would love to be a connector. We would love to make sure that we are helping, especially our small business owners and our Black and Brown communities that are really struggling and have been hit harder by this pandemic disproportionately. We also, like I said, started at a different point, and we don't always have the resources and in the support like we should have in the past. And now we're trying to catch up. But this pandemic has exposed the inequities that we knew were always there, but really has been a spotlight on even more. So please reach out to our office however we can be helpful. Even if it's not related to us, we'd love to be a connector and get you in touch with other departments that may have additional resources for your businesses.
Thank you, City Clerk Valencia. That was, again, this entire interview, everything you shared with us, I feel like is the epitome of why it's important to have women like you in leadership, because you understand stories of people like me and the average Chicagoan, right? And you really, there's empathy, there's compassion, And you really are here to help the people. So thank you. Thank you again for
you.
just sharing all of this with our community. I will definitely share the contact information to your office for any one of our viewers that need it. And thank you again for being here. And
Thank you for having me.
Women's History Month, everyone.
Happy Women's History Month.